And Chris Ockley here in Owensville with Owensville head coach Matt Candrl, who just finished off third annual Dutch track and field clinic, and I was here last year and looked like maybe participation even jumped maybe by almost double. Maybe tell me a little bit about today. And
probably up 5 to 10 people from last year.
Okay.
I think we're just trying to provide an opportunity for high school coaches to get that last little energy burst before the season starts. Plus, provide an environment where coaches are just willing to share, willing to lay out their plan out there, and what they do that they're successful at.
Yeah.
And been very excited to have Dennis Licklider here this year come and share all his years of knowledge, and being an Owensville grad, he has a little connection here, but it was good. I really enjoyed all the presentations today, and it's a great chance for coaches just to learn who want to learn.
And I'm regretting not getting the photo of you, the two Owensville graduates, and now being back here coaching. But it seems like I heard quite a few positive comments. I thought the instructors were all great, and just a lot of people thanking you for putting this together, and a lot of good learning going on, I think. So an interaction, I know, is coaching, or coaches. I think we don't get enough of just interaction with the coaches, because too often during meets or competition time where you're with your fellow coaches and you're too busy with your teams to have a real social or real worthwhile interactions. Too much
about an event group or about an event that they love and that they really care a lot about. That's kind of my goals, is just put people in there who are passionate about their events and what they their love of track and field, and share it with the other coaches, and just have fun doing it. So.
Yeah. I assume this is where you probably first got your passion for track and field. Here was at a high school or middle school athlete here?
Right. I grew up here in Owensville, and when I left in 1987, I graduated from high school. 18 years having an opportunity to go a lot of places to see track and field, and kind of decided ultimately I wanted to raise my family here with my kids in this environment, because I just enjoyed growing up here. And so we came back 6 years ago, and I'm excited about where the team's going, and I think they're falling in love with track and field, just like I did. And some of them are getting a chance to go on to college and participate, so that's enjoyable if they get that chance.
And we won't go into all your coaching stops. It'll be too long. We'd run out of memory on the card here. You've had success at so many places, but tell me what it's like being back in your hometown and leading your Alma Mater. And obviously we look up the Hannah Bear, the freshman who all-state 14th, 15th place at the state meet. Tell me just what it's like being back here and leading your alumni and having success with these kids, leading them to success, and tell me about what that's like.
Well, it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, everybody knows who you are.
Right.
They don't know what you've done or at other places, who you've coached and stuff, and so sometimes that's difficult for some kids. They just don't understand that if you've been to the Olympics or you've been to the U.S. Championships or you've been to the NCAA Championships, they don't understand the level of competition that's there, or what level athletics really goes to. But the flip side of it is it's a joy to coach people who I grew up with, their children.
Right.
I kind of have a special love for coaching people who I went to school with, their kids, and just knowing I came from here, that just means a lot to me, and I know the parents appreciate, wanting to give back to your community, and got a lot of good role models in my community of people who do the same thing in different aspects of their lives. Yeah. But that's one of the most enjoyable things.
We won't keep it too much longer. Tell me you've had so much experience in sport. Any thoughts on the state of the sport, or what in America or in the Midwest or in Missouri, and any big thoughts on how we can improve and improve the sport and the state of the sport?
Well, I think there's some things going on at the national level, USA level, that they're trying to restructure, but there's clear we're falling behind in some respects to other sports. We obviously need to keep doing things that help improve our sport and get us national profile. On the other hand, the Olympics, when that's on, everybody thinks track's number one while they're watching it, and 4 years later they
bet you remember again.
Remember that second. But I'm just impressed with the great performances. I mean, the coaches are really working hard in Missouri to improve the state of Missouri track and field. There's a lot of people with a passion for coaching track and field in Missouri, and just doesn't take long if you just go around and start looking to meet those people. But that's, I think the coaches' fire and love for the sport is definitely alive and well in the state of Missouri. And every year you look at the cross-country state championship, and times are getting faster. People are going out and learning what it takes to make yourself a better athlete, and then sharing that with their athletes. And I think that's kind of what we're doing this here, is just, there are no secrets. It's just get it out there, and then it's how you use that stuff and how you make the most of it. The kids you do have to work with. So
Right. Any special challenges that you have here at Owensville? I know obviously at smaller schools that it's always you're fighting for athletes and fighting for athletes that compete in 2 or 3 different sports and fighting those coaches. I'm sure those are issues that you deal with all the time. And then helping others, trying to encourage others to fall in love with it and help coach. I guess that's other issues that are just happen to be in your situation. Any other special challenges that you didn't? I guess obviously coaching all different levels previously, you probably nothing was unexpected.
Well, it's part of it. Little stuff pops up everywhere. It's always a challenge in a small town to find people who want to coach. I think teachers nowadays they like to be teachers, but they don't necessarily want to put the extra hours that it takes to be a coach, because you don't want to do the math on that to figure out what you do make in the process.
In an hour, right?
So I don't try, but that's a challenge. And then, in a rural community that's spread out, it's different challenges than in the city. Other challenges is just getting to a place when they're 15 or 14 or 16, they can't drive necessarily.
Sure.
So that seems to be a little bit of a challenge. We're trying hard every year to get better about working together. As a coach, we know in our community we have to be multiple sports.
Yeah.
If we're going to be successful, we're going to have those multiple sport athletes. So the coaches are trying to be flexible and to work with each other, and we're continuing to develop that. And we have a new football coach who's going to be my assistant track coach and head football coach, and Dale Long. And it's going to be a good marriage. We're going to work hard to make it a great relationship.
Yeah.
A win-win for both programs, football and track.
You feel like some of the students are more receptive to if you're, talking to them and recruiting them, and see if you see something in it, if they've got some talent area and they may do other sports. Do you see them being open once they see some of the success that your kids have had, or see some of the things that you've done in the past? Do you feel like, that they really open their eyes and they, say, maybe I will go out and try that?
It does happen. But then the flip side happens. There's a kid who, I've got a book I have him start to write called Coulda, Woulda, Shoulda. And then I go to kids after they've missed it and they turned me down from doing that last year or something for jobs and this and that. And they get off to college and they look back and realize, I coulda, woulda, shoulda done some other things. And I start a little journal and let them write in it. So then when I run into a trouble kid, I can say, hey, why don't you read this book? See in here who else maybe wishes they would have had a few more years of high school sports. And so. And I've got one in the school right now that's very, very talented, but it's getting her out. It's a challenge, and she just doesn't see how great she can be. But that's the coach's eye. You're supposed to be looking for that kind of stuff. And you won't get everyone. You just got to try hard to get as many as you can.
I think that's maybe one of the best skills is that you can not just learn from your mistakes, but learn from others' mistakes. And jump on those opportunities, and I think you're doing pretty good. I think too many times we, again, are focused on us and ourselves, and we forget that people for thousands of years have been doing these things ahead of us. So being able to learn from others. So, so appreciate your time and energy and putting the clinic together. And
thank you for all the work you're doing. Putting on. Nobody works harder as far as trying to cover Missouri kids and what they're doing in the sport, track and field. So it's clear your love's there too. So
I appreciate, especially getting enjoy
appreciation either. So
getting shots of coaches and athletes and parents together who spend so much time, and those are kind of special. Trying to capture those images at least and share with them. So
it's clear you have a passion for that. And it's clear that that's part of the deal. So.
I appreciate it. Well, thanks a bunch and good luck this season.
All right, thank you.
All right.